Let's talk about the first time that I saw Jane's Addiction perform. So I did not have a camera with me at the time, but that's okay. So way back on May 6, 1989, in Santa Barbara at the University of Santa Barbara, they did a show at an outdoor field. A good friend of mine, a band called Danish, opened for them. So I turned around and they invited me to come up to see Mary's Danish, and I was like, of course, I'm gonna go see my friends play. So I drove up to Santa Barbara and I watched my friends Mary Danish play. Did a great show, great crowd, college crowd, fun time. So I thought, okay, great, whatever. Do I head home or not? Who's this Jane's Addiction? Never heard of them. And this is like, you gotta realize, this is 89. They already had an album out. I think Nothing Shocking had just come out. Knew nothing about them. It wasn't my kind of music at that time. I was listening to more like, funk and art rock and everything but that. So they came on stage, and I think you can see the video on YouTube. There's an actual video of this, but they came on stage and they just went crazy. And there's Perry bouncing around with dreads, and Dave and doing his thing, and Eric and Steven, and they just went off. And I remember sitting on the side of the stage going, who the fuck is this band? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, I literally was in shock and like just blown away. I stood there and just stared at them for their whole set from the side of the stage. And I was like, oh my God, this band is amazing. And of course, I came back to LA afterwards and started telling everybody, hey, have you heard of this Jane's Addiction band? They're amazing. And of course, every one of my friends said the same thing. You fucking idiot, they've been around forever. Where have you been? You're late to the party. Go home. And I was funny because everybody thought, like, Chris, you're like so, you just don't really, it's not your crowd, Chris. It's not the clubs that you go to, and which was true. So I became obsessed with Jane's Addiction, literally obsessed with the band. I ran out and bought Nothing Shocking. To this day, I think it's one of the greatest top 10 records of all time. And I just followed the band around whenever I could to see them play. And it wasn't until years later that I got to do my first shoot and finally meet Perry Farrell, the lead singer. You gotta realize how crazy and edgy and different it was. And to this day, and I'll take this to my grave, if you listen to everything that Jane's Addiction made and performed, you can't find another band like it. There's no other band like them. One of a fucking kind. Like, honestly, there's no band like Jane's Addiction.